welcome to Fearless English. Today I'm going to be teaching you simple present. In this video, you will learn the definition of simple present, the order of words in a question, the order of words in a sentence. I will also review the auxiliary do and does. And at the very end, I will explain the different kinds of verbs that you use in the simple present in an affirmative sentence, especially in the third person. So let's get started. In every language, it is important for you to learn the order of a question and the order of a sentence, because oftentimes they are going to be very different and sometimes the opposite. So many of my students make mistakes when they are asking a question because they don't know how to begin the question. In this video, we begin with the interrogative. An interrogative is a word that begins a question. Sometimes some books or some teachers refer to an interrogative as a question word or a WH word. Those are other terms we use to describe an interrogative. What are interrogatives? Well, they could be the word why, how, when, what, where, and whose. These are interrogatives. Interrogatives begin questions. So in this lesson, we are beginning with an interrogative. And the second thing you see is the auxiliary. The auxiliary in this question is do and does. Do and does. These are the auxiliaries that are used in the simple present questions. What do and does express? Well, they do two things. Do and does express the time, which is present, and they also express plural and singular. Do is used with the pronouns or the subjects that are in the plural form. So now let's look at the questions that are used with the auxiliary do. Do is used with I, though I know, yes, I is a subject pronoun that is in singular, and it is still used with this subject pronoun. It is what we call an exception, and there are a lot of exceptions here. That means that it's going to break the rule. It's not going to follow the rule. It's special, and though it doesn't follow the rule, it is something that you just need to memorize. Now we have the auxiliary do. Do is used with the subject pronoun you. And as you know, you is singular. You are my student. Or it could be you are my students. It could be you, one person, or it could be you, two or more people. So we're not going to change the auxiliary for you when it means one person and then use another auxiliary when it means plural. We're just going to use the auxiliary do for when we are talking about you in the singular form or you in the plural form. Then we have do that is used with the subject pronoun we. We is when I am included with you. Together we make we. And of course, that's easy to understand. That is really a good, clear definition of plural. You and I together, we form we. Now, that's plural. Do is also used with the subject pronoun they. They can be used with two women or more, two girls or more, two boys, two men or more, or it could be used with two things or more. Now we get to the tricky part, which is the auxiliary does. The auxiliary does has an S, and this confuses many people because I tell them that does means singular. Does is singular. And people get very confused because they see the S. And this is why they get confused. Because when we have a noun, a person, a place, or a thing, and we want to express it in the plural form, we add an S. Like in the word chairs. If I have one chair, this is chair. That's singular. But chairs here is plural, 2 or more. Plural, 2 or more. Chair, 1 chair. Chairs, 2 chairs. But that is in the case of a noun. And the auxiliary does is a verb. So we are not going to add an S to express plural in this auxiliary. We add the S to express singular. Now let's look at the order of words. As I said before, does equals singular. Does equals singular. Does equals singular. Got it? Okay. If you want to ask a question about my everyday schedule, a fact, or my habits, you are going to begin with the interrogative first. Second, the auxiliary. We already went over why do we use do here and why do we use does here. Third is my subject, who or what my question is about. Then we use a base verb. And here I really want you to notice what kind of verb do I use. I use a verb in the simple present form, in the present form. That means that in the third person, he or she, you do not add an S to the base verb. Base verb. If you pay attention to the order of words and you pay attention to this formula, you will not make a mistake when you are writing or when you are asking a question, because you know here you do not use a third person verb here. Why? Because it is a question. In the question, you do not add an S here. And at the end, we have what is called a time expression. One clue about the simple present is that you usually use it with the word every. You can say every day, every morning, every afternoon, every evening, or every night. Those are talking about general habits, my schedule, my everyday things that I do every day. And then one question mark. One question mark. Now let's practice. Now let's look at the sentences. As I said before, it is important for you to know the order of sentences and questions. In the sentence, I begin with my subject. And second is my verb. But I want you to see the split here, because there are two kinds of verbs here. Here, the verb that does not have an S is expressing plural. So you have to know that if you are talking about something that happens every single day and it is two people you want to talk about, your verb must not have an S. If you are talking about one person, that's the third person. And in the third person, you add an S. You add an S. So here in the third person, in the affirmative sentence, you must add an S in order to express that your subject is in the singular form. Why do I add that S? I add that S because my subject is singular. So I have to have a verb agreement. My subject is singular, so my verb has to be in the singular form. Up here, remember that even though I is singular, we are not going to put it here. It is an exception. Here is I is singular, and even though it's singular, we use it with the plural form. And of course, you here, we use the plural form of the verb with the subject pronoun you, even though you can be one person. We are not going to change. We are not going to say you teaches because I'm talking about one person. No, we are not going to do that. We're just going to use it with the verb in the plural form, even though you means one person, you, or you means plural, two or more people. All right, so now let's practice some pronunciation of the questions we can practice together. What do I do every day? What do I do every day? What do I do every day? I ask you, students, what do I do every day? You teach every day. You teach every day. You teach every day. What do you do every day? What do you do every day? What do you do every day? I study every day. I study every day. I study every day. What do we do every day? What do we do every day? What do we do every day? We work every day. We work every day. We work every day. What do they do every day? What do they do every day? They clean every day. They clean every day. Okay, now here's the third person. Remember to add that S to the base verb. What does he do every day? What does he do every day? He teaches every day. He teaches every day. He teaches every day. What does she do every day? What does she do every day? She studies every day. She studies every day. What does it do every day? What does it do every day? What does it do every day? It eats every day. It eats every day. It eats every day. Okay, so now let's take a little quiz. I'm going to ask you a question in the simple present. Here we go. What does she study every day? She studies English every day. What do you study every day? I study English every day, I hope. What does he cook every day? What does he cook every day? He cooks chicken. Okay. What do we cook every day? What do we cook every day? We cook enchiladas. Yum. I'm hungry actually. What does it eat every morning? What does it eat every morning? It eats dog food. It eats dog food. What do I eat every day? What do I eat every day? Right. You eat enchiladas. I think my stomach just growled. I eat enchiladas. All right, thank you so much for tuning in today. Remember to subscribe to this channel. It's never too late to learn English.